And welcome back to the deck. Hi everyone, Asa here, your host, and today we are back again with another deck stream. And what we're gonna do today is to show you guys an exclusive preview of the Year 3 Season 2 content coming on August 18th. And to help me with that, we do have, as usual, Neo to help us with the gameplay. He already has his hands on the latest preview build. Hi Neo, how are you doing?
Doing good.
Are you excited about the new content?
Super.
Yeah, we have a disclaimer that it's he just got his hands on the new preview, so keep that in mind. And we also have Sam Quack today joining us to talk about the new content coming. How are you?
Hello, I'm great. I'm finally able to share
Yes.
share more on what's coming, and very excited to do so.
Yes, finally we are free to talk about everything that we wanted. Actually, it's your third or fourth stream in a row, is it? You've been quite
I think so.
cool.
Yeah.
All right, so I hope you guys can hear us. Can that the drops are working? We do have new drops today, by the way, and we extended the timing for them so you will be able to claim as many people will be able to claim. So before we dive into the new content itself, Sam, I want to ask about the Year 3 Season 1. So how did it go? If there's any learnings from the community feedback that we had?
Yep. So we managed to drop the new power progression for players during a season. We opened up what if players had the ability to fine tune stats a lot more, to increase stats a lot more in order to also deal with enemies that increase in challenge as well. It's a start, and it's not the end of what we have planned for the whole game experience so far. We had a lot of learning on understanding what how much of the pacing we should be adjusting. Maybe we realized we have been a bit too aggressive with the leveling curve towards the later stage of the seasonal mastery. We also observed like, hey, what other events or activities we could also support alongside, so that it helps with the leveling. Like for example, when the Honorless was running, players generally had a quite a okay time with being able to level up. But when there were no events running, there was a bit of a drought. So we kind of also looked into it at the base activities in the worlds, some of the experience, the infamy gains there, so that we don't just make players be stuck in a situation that outside of certain times of the season, leveling is just a grind. So we looked at that. We also looked at the perks, the seasonal perks, which ones players had fun with, which ones helped, and we actually use that to also align with what we were already doing for season 2, and we could improve them where we could, but at the same time it also helped us to give us some confirmation on what we are doing already for season 2, that will be a improvement over what we have already released.
Yep. And now moving into the Year 3 Season 2 content. Right, we do have a new ship. We do have new equipment. The Mastery tree got an update too as well. So if we can start with the junk itself, the general introduction of the ship.
Okay, so yeah, the junk is one of in my opinion, one of the coolest looking large ships that we have. I mean, because it just has a very different profile from the other ships. It's a lot blockier, but at the same time, its sails are very iconic and signature. In terms of the playstyle as well, it's a ship that wants to be very aggressive and allows you to make use of going even deeper into specializing your weapons. So in particular, it really likes burning damage, right? So how it works with its perk allows you to keep attacking either a singular target or multiple targets. As long as you are constantly landing shots, you're able to, like charge up and enter your powered up stage, and then that improves your performance in terms of being able to output damage faster and harder. And at the same time, if you're playing in a team or there are other players, captains nearby, everybody who also plays towards into being able to use burning damage will also be able to take advantage of all that burning resistance shred that you're applying to all the enemies at the same time. So it promotes a very aggressive play style. You want to stay on enemies. You want to be able to constantly land shots. You don't like to have downtime, right? Like where with the galleon you could kind of do in for a hard hitting punch and then either reposition or pull out, or just stay in the same spot and just slug it out. The junk wants to move around, but it also wants to keep landing shots. And actually, if you're done with like applying a lot of the burning resistance shred onto one target, you can actually move on to another while your other allies finish them off. So it has that very fun playstyle of being able to apply pressure, become aggressive, and then you can feel the power up that comes when the longer you go into the fight.
And going into year 2 season 2, as we said, there's a new perks for Master Tree, right? There's new equipment. So what example of like builds or equipments or Master Tree builds are recommended for the junk?
So specifically in the new season, we have a whole brand new set of seasonal perks, as well as some changes to the major nodes. But there's the flavor of the season will be centered around a mechanic that we call impetus. So the whole concept that we have is that we want to allow players to understand more into, hey, when I'm playing the game, when I'm playing with my ship, there are certain things that I like to do in this ship. So the concept of impetus allows you to pick and adapt or choose the perk that allows you to generate impetus based on your playstyle. So we have ways like, hey, if you're landing repeated shots, such as playing the junk, that we have a perk where you generate impetus every time you land a lot like multiple shots onto a target. So that naturally fits into your playstyle. So generating impetus is kind of like a special power up that you get, and you also get to choose additional effects of what you gain when you generate impetus. So for example, we had a lot of feedback where players also did remark that like, hey, while the increase in damage is nice, on the survival defensive side of things might not always be catching up. So we didn't want to just do bigger increases to HP just via the nodes. So we have this impetus node instead, where every time you generate impetus, you get some of your hull repair. So that's kind of like the cycle that we want players to get. Like, hey, if you are successfully dealing damage and engaging at the same time, you are also generating impetus, which also helps you stay alive and in the fight longer. And this also synergizes with, hey, if you have a mending build, it also kind of stacks up. If you have no problem staying alive, we also have other gains of impetus that increases your offensive capabilities as well. So after generating all this impetus, getting the effects in the meantime, the junk in particular also likes to spend the impetus. So impetus finishes with the step where players choose which perk they want to use to spend this impetus that they have built up during the battle. So there's a very nice AoE wipe effect that you can spend multiple stacks of impetus. So you have to build it up, otherwise it doesn't trigger. You have to reach a threshold of impetus, and then it will create a big AOE blast of lightning and fire from the target that was hit when the impetus condition has been reached. But this particular perk is also fun because it also can trigger off a rammer. So if you have enough impetus and you ram someone, or when the condition is active, you can ram someone. You can also release this like nice little fire damage and lightning damage blast wave, which once again ties nicely that your junk has been reducing your enemy's fire resistance. So releasing this attack is actually very cool. So that is kind of like what the junk really likes to do with the seasonal perks. But for other seasonal perks, we also have a perk where you can spend the impetus to get this brief window where all your shots are criticals. So it's extremely good for single target bossing. You can do your build up, and then when it's ready, the target is stationary or it's in a vulnerable state, you just want to activate it at the right time, and then you'll see how you can effectively burn down enemies. So the whole concept with season 2, we have this we want players to be able to understand how they want to play their ship, what perks merge with this play style, and then when they play, they need to be actively maintaining this rotation, taking advantage of all this situation and condition to come in for the kill or to release all these damage effects and things like that. I see a question about the mastery level cap. I'd like to touch on this. While the mastery level is still at level 80 with 80 points, this seasonal journey also adds another 10 more points, so you can go up to a total of 90 mastery points to allocate into your mastery tree, right? This was part of the feedback we have, that hey, mastery points are cool, but always having to grind infamy to get them is really not working out. So we also sorry, I'm talking too fast. I'm sorry. Yeah. So we wanted to hey, what are more ways we can let players play content and progress through what we have planned for the season, and also get this mastery points along. So the journey will also guide players through what are the new seasonal quests that we have, and then from there, when they complete it, quests, we don't want to just keep giving players currency and just infamy. We're giving you directly the mastery points. You earn it, and then you can spend it on the mastery tree, right? So there's this new addition. So 90 points for season 2. We are still monitoring how we can have more rewarding ways to allow players to earn mastery points. So yeah, this is not the final end of where mastery points are coming from.
Cool. I see there were quite some questions about the junk as well, right? I think in the chat, I think one of the questions that I saw is about the gun ports. How many gun ports does it have? And they just want a confirmation on the role. It's a DPS. It's a large DPS. Is it our second?
Yes, it's the second large DPS. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Moving to the questions from the community. We did pre-collect some questions. So the first one is, how many new weapons will we see in the new season? And if there's anything you can share about the loadout in general.
We have 6 new weapons. There are some new fire culverines that go very nicely with the junk as well. It synergizes with generally any build where you want to be constantly landing shots and want to set your enemies ablaze. At the same time, I did mention a lot about Combat 2.0 coming in season 3. These weapons are also kind of like future proofed and planned to maintain a lot of what they can currently do now without major changes to be future proofed that way. We also have I think one of my favorite was a very specific was the flooding ballista, but you need to build very specifically into a ballista build. It can work, and especially if you have support where you can, keep the heat off your ship. It does work extremely well, especially when you have the impetus perk to convert all your hits into criticals. Yeah, that works very well. Yeah, and there's also like there's a lot of weapons that I really like this season. There's a flooding weapon as well. So yes, while we don't have anything extremely fancy with a flooding ship this season, but the Brigantine has always been one of my favorite ships. It's fast, it's mobile, synergizes well with flooding damage. So I also had a lot of fun in the season 2 contents with that build as well.
There was one question that I want to take from the chat. It was so the Galleon was our first large DPS ship. Now the Junk is the second one. So what are the pros and cons of the Junk compared to the Galleon, I think?
So the Galleon has a play style that is DPS but is quite generalized. It's also quite tanky and likes to be up close to the enemies. So a lot of times like how I play is I'll just load up on demi cannons or cavalries. I'll try to max the DPS output, but at the same time I keep some mending mods on them so that I can stay alive. So like the Galleon is very like a brawler. It just wants to go there and just keeps hitting the target until one of us is dead. Right. The Junk requires a bit more finesse because it likes fire damage a lot. I don't think it's as durable as the Galleon can be. Of course, the Galleon has the most gun ports. The Junk has a little lesser at I think 14 broadsides, but they have the angles are pretty good on them. So you kind of still want to be a bit more mobile. Your attacks are also applying a specific status on enemies. So sometimes you might want to spread them around. So there's a little bit more moving around and target selection with the Junk going on. There's also like a new on weapons as well. There's a new fire rockets that we have that also works with the Junk particularly well in the sense that when enemy is on fire, it actually each hit of the rocket further shreds the burning resistance of a target. So it's like this kind of cycles that you want to be playing with the Junk a lot more versus the Galleon, which is like, okay, I'm gonna go in and punch every ship, or like you just can stay stuck in a fight. Sometimes you are okay with even being anchored right next to an enemy. You want to charge out your Iron Thunder for the Galleon, but for the Junk it's really a moving fighter. You just want to keep moving, but you want to stay on target or search for next targets.
And moving to the next question, so from the community, what are the plans for future ship diversity? The recent seasons have had heavy focus on large ships. Are there any plans to further develop the roles between both the sizes of ship and their designated playstyles?
Yes. So we have a few things in progress. We are looking at medium and small ships, all of them in the future season as well, to make sure that they're all relevant and playable. That's why there's a lot of balancing that we're testing through right now on that end. So we also do not want the seas to be a situation where only the large ships survive, or it's just the most generally viable ships. So we're doing that. On the other hand, also the season after season 2, yes, while the main headline ship is yet another large ship, but for season 3, we actually have more than one new ship coming into the game, like brand new ship. Not gonna tell you what it is, but it's not a large ship. I'll share more when the time comes, and it's also a pretty exciting kind of playstyle and ship that we can get.
Cool. Okay, let me see if there are more questions on the ships and loadouts. Sam, is there anything more you want to share regarding the seasonal mastery tree for year season 2?
So now I think I really want the players our players to go in, try it out, and let us know if our this approach where we kind of want to make there be a bit more like a active kind of interaction with the tree. It's not just a passive perk and you just put it there and you forget about it. It's something that actually makes you think how you want to play, or you can pick whether it suits your playstyle and the ship that you're using, and then you actually get to see a visual payoff and interaction when it works, to be something that is working nicely, and then that's why we've always wanted to do the mastery itself, where we have seasonal flavors and like exciting new concepts that can be played out, and for all our players, you don't have to be worried that this is our one-time things. There's nothing stopping them from returning. There's nothing stopping us from actually maybe like, hey, it works well, maybe we can actually put them permanently into the game, either via ships or equipment and things like that. So yeah, this is always we're doing it for our players, and when our players have fun, we also have fun, and then we build the game this way, and this is how we evolve things.
Yep. And before we move to the next section, which is going to be about the new threat in Skull and Bones, can you reveal anything about the Year 3 Season 4 ship?
Ooh, Year 3 Season 4 ship is a lot of big explosions.
Okay, that's your sneak peek. Okay, one more thing that I want to ask. People are mentioning cheese in the chat. I think it is coming in Year 2 Season 2, right?
It's in Season 2. You can find it in the game.
Yeah, but it's for you to find it out. Cool. Okay, I think we can move to the next section. So the new content is coming. We did kind of mention a bit, like briefly, during the 2 previous stream, but finally, Sam, you can talk and share every detail about the new event with the community.
Yes. Yeah. So we have been working on new content, and what we see in Season 2 is actually the opening of a lot of the rest of the new content to come. It unveils a new enemy faction. The activities are mainly World Tier 4, but you might catch a sneak peek of them in the world occasionally as a teaser, but the main focus, we understand that players want more content. At the same time, we have all this very rewarding power progression, but players have been asking like, hey, but I'm powerful now, who do I fight? Yeah, so that's also one of the driving reasons why the new Abyssal Fleet, which is the enemy faction that is invading the seas, are also positioned on World Tier 4, and also because we don't want to crowd and blend all the worlds together, right? So the Abyssal Fleet is a very interesting new enemy faction that has been added, and it also ties in with some of the updates that we have done to hardships inside the game. So we always had these like 3 buckets of enemies that you face. You have your normal AI, then you have your elites on the other side. In between, there's actually hardships, which other than just having more HP or damage, sometimes they're not mechanically different so far, right? But now hardships can be quite clearly identified and noticed, because these ships are more durable, but at the same time they have weak points that are armored But if you are able to hit them accurately, destroy the armor of the weak point, and then destroy the weak point, that's how these ships go down. So we want players to notice the enemy differences first, as well as and then be more skillful and proficient in dealing with them. Else otherwise in a fight sometimes it's just DPS all around and then you just kill, you don't even realize who you've killed, right? So that is where the hardships have evolved. So the abyssal fleet is entirely made up of hardships. That's why we also place them only in world tier 4 so as not to overwhelm the lower world tiers. And as a faction, they actually pick up ship archetypes from every other AI faction in the game. So this gives them to the full access of all the different attacks that they can throw at players. Mixing of like they can send you the burners that you are very familiar with, the Unguana after you, but at the same time it's heavily supported by grenadiers who are lobbing long range shots at you, things like that. So that the abyssal fleet has everything at their disposal, and in addition they have a factional flavor to them where getting hit by their attacks repeatedly builds up a status called the abyssal stigma, which impairs your repair efficiency. So it doesn't cancel out your ability to repair yourself, but it does reduce the efficiency. So when you're fighting them, you have to be mindful. You don't just want to tank all the shots and just heal back. You need to think about whether do you really want to take these shots. If I can evade it, do I want to evade it? If I stay in a fight with them for too long, because they are all of the hard armored weak point ship. This time round, they take longer to kill. You don't want to be drawn into a very long fight and keep taking all this repair handicap, and then you get penned in when reinforcements come. Then things can turn ugly very quickly. So that's kind of how the fights with this faction behave, and then. Moving on to one of the highlight activities with this faction, and for the new season, we have a new world event on World Tier 4 called the Heralds of the Abyss. So this is an event on demand, so players don't have to wait around for things to spawn if they miss it, and then they have to wait for the next cycle. It's on demand, but it's quite challenging. So maybe it's more fun and works better in a group. Of course, our most extreme challengers can try to take it on their own, but yeah, this will test how you build your ship and the seasonal perks, how you want to mix them to have an effective build. So what is this event? I know players are looking for like even more activities, but this is our first step, and this is where we are starting to bridge towards what I call like longer form content. So it is a wave based activity. There will be multiple waves of enemies that are coming in. So it's a bit similar to what you have seen before in the Honorless, where you're just faced with a group of enemies, but this time round there are multiple waves of them. They are also bound within a time limit to complete all of the waves. So you have a total time limit for all of these waves. It's not each wave has its own time limit. So you can actually also strategize, and once you realize and got familiar with the waves and you optimize your builds, you can also kind of get a hang of like, okay, first wave is something that I want to rush through. It's not difficult for me. My build is particularly good for it. Second build, the second wave itself might be the difficult one for me, and then the boss, things like that. So you are able to monitor your own progress, fight through it, and then when the boss finally comes out, this boss itself is one of our most mechanically clear boss. It has very clear attacks, very aggressive attacks. It hits hard, but it's not designed in a way to be unfairly so, because if you have read its attacks, and you learn how to make use of your weapons, how to move around, when to do certain things, it shouldn't be a problem to stay alive. But then it comes the challenge of, okay, but how do I kill it fast enough? Staying alive isn't enough. So that's how like Heralds of the Abyss will be challenging this time round. It has a nice balance of needing to stay alive and just being able to just purely brute force DPS things through, and that's how it is. And it leads on to the final part, which is rewards, right? So
Yeah.
what's the rewards for all this? So the abyssal fleet and abyssal activities will feed.
It's a bit of bug in there, is it?
It almost looked like his captain is like glaring at me. It's like I've been talking too long. Yeah. So the abyss rewards, the abyssal fleet activities themselves will be the only, not only place, the first place, first introduction of new reward currency that which is also used as a cost for doing mod transfers between different weapons of the same type. So it's not something that we created just for it. It's gonna be used on a end game kind of economy as well, right? So you will be able to buy exclusive cosmetics from Blackwood as usual, but because this is a World Tier 4 currency, the cosmetics look really good, and the much requested craneless buckskin is also there. So is part of the cosmetic side of things. With regards to gameplay wise, the Abyssal Fleet will introduce to players our new class of mods. We have Adept mods and Mythic exclusive mods. So Adept mods are higher modifier versions of mods that players are familiar with, to allow them to create the most powerful weapon that they have and fine tune and min max weapons for each build that they want. So this is gonna work very well with mod transfers, because you can get all these adapt mods and then transfer them to your favorite weapons within the same type, of course. And then we have the new exclusive mythic exclusive mods, where these are new mythic mods with brand new unique effects that are only obtained from completing the Heralds of the Abyss. So this exclusive mods can still be transferred between weapons of the same type, but you won't be able to get these mods from the blacksmith from just rolling them, right? So some of them have a very interesting effect, like it can make your cannon fire two shots, and among other effects. So you can mix and match to try out what the best weapons for your builds will be. And we are starting in season 2 the introduction of Adept and the exclusive mods on cannonball type weapons first, and ballistas. But we will have more and more to come as the seasons progress, and we have more content in. So this is not the end; it's merely the beginning.
I just wonder if I want to give a shout out to Captain GTI and Mother Flame. They joined Neo to try to take on the Abyssal Fleet. Is that what you guys are trying to do now, or Neo?
I think I'm just going with the mission right now.
The mission.
I cannot get to what tier yet.
Okay, got it. Yeah, let's see if we can get the world tier, because I think we really want to show the Abyssal, the gameplay to you guys.
Yes. Right now I'm in a world tier 2.
Yep, we do still have time.
I'll try my best.
All right. So just now, Sam, you did mention that it's only the beginning, right? So if we talk about the long-term plans with the Abyssal content, maybe like without revealing all the details, but what is the vision from the team on this one?
So the Abyss itself is not just like a content plan. It's actually also a part of the world building that we have. they are quite tied to the events of the story where the world is unfolding. We start to learn more about motivations of characters. In terms of the world itself, now that the Abyssal fleet has invaded, it will also have explain some of the relations of some of the future factions that are entering the seas in response to the abyss, the abyssal fleet itself. In terms of the activities that we have, we will have even more contents and activities coming in the later seasons that are also sparked by the abyss. The abyss itself expands out with more content types towards reaching what we wanted to have, which is also a next layer of a world open world gameplay experience, where we did tease a bit. It's gonna be a world where players are also threats to each other, things like that. So the abyss is really the first step, and laying down the foundation and the backdrop, as well as the means to reach towards that whole state of a world and activities.
Yes, and do we want to move to the next section and see if later we can see the Abyssal Fleet gameplay? But there were some questions from the community regarding the new content in general. So let's go through them first. So the first question is: with seasonal mastery impacting the PvP experience, will there be countermeasures in the future?
Yes. So as mentioned, we are working on a very big rework and rebalance for combat in the upcoming seasons. It's not fully gonna hit in season 2, so I just want to be very very upfront here. So PvP is still gonna be quite rough on the Indian Ocean. But where we are working at is definitely towards taking into account mastery and the new changes to the stats of ships, how combat will work. This is one part of it. The other part is also we are also looking at what sorts of like modifier levers do we want to put in when we're talking about damage between player to players, because we and the AI bosses, the elites, have so much more HP compared to a player. But then when you turn your damage against another player, we don't want them to be blasted out of the sea with just like one broadside. So we are looking at also providing some modifiers and controls when it comes to damage between players, so that it doesn't discount the progression that they have with mastery, but at the same time keeps the PvP experience between what is a fair and fun a fight. Yeah. So it is coming. It's not going to be out very quickly because we don't want to just throw in. Okay, let's throw in a minus 50% modifier and call it a day. We are doing a lot of testing through all the various ship sizes, as I mentioned before, and along with the new combat, and then make sure that everything is there, and then to improve PvP as an overall on the state of the game.
Moving to the next questions, and I think I've seen those in the chat, and they keep appearing every stream. But the question is, when we'll see a map expansion or officer system?
So map expansion and officer system is something that we already started work on, but some things have to be rolled out first before we can come, because if we don't finish the work on the new combat, I can't just throw in the officers, because the officers are already taking into account how this system will work. So it's not coming anytime soon, but it's definitely something that will be coming. Yeah. Some other features
Yes.
need to be ready and
Yeah.
released first.
Just
Yeah.
the priority is on make things with the naval combat right in place. So on top of it, there can be new content. The next question is regarding the new factions. When are the BTA or Spanish coming? Are they ever coming, Sam?
They are coming, but I guess it might be just coming at a more unexpected time. We don't know.
Okay. The next question is, will we get a Man of War?
Man of War. It is. We are working on a Man of War. So, answer is yes. But once again, it's not gonna be very soon. But yes, there will be Man of Wars.
Yep. Okay. Pirate hideouts and minigames update anytime?
Yeah, these are still actually so alongside with like officers and things like that. This is where we actually, it's a whole thing that comes together. Like when you have officers, you kind of want to interact with them. So that works into the features with like how do you interact with them. Hideout is one of the possible things. I mean like we are doing this. It might not necessarily just be a hideout. We've seen a lot of requests for actually your captain's cabin, right? And actually walking around the deck of your ship. So we want to actually do all of this as like a comprehensive seasonal large feature block focus update alongside with what we talked about for officers. So it will take some time, but we want to try to release a holistic sets of like a whole suite of features themed around it, so that it doesn't feel like you always have halfway of something. Yeah.
Okay. The next question is party expansion to 4 to 6 players.
Yep. So we have two parts to this. On one hand, we are looking at all the activities that we have within the game again, and whether what is the like ideal player size we have that we want for these various types of activities. If we open up party size to 6, which are the ones we need to do rebalancing on, or how do we clearly indicate to players that this is actually 4 to 6 at least, because if it's on the open ocean, sometimes from the very early launch of our game, we did have a lot of situations when players they just sailed into a world event, and then they were meant for like, hey, 6 players, and then players just like, oh, I can't do it alone, then they keep getting turned away from things like that. Now that we have call to arms activities, it can make it easier, but so we are looking at how we're going to sort this out first. So it's not just making it suddenly we allow players to party up 6. We want to make sure the content side follows along. So once those have been adjusted, then that's when we would see it coming.
Okay. The next question is, can we have clan tags? And is the clan system still being considered for the future?
Okay, so yeah, this is a good suggestion. I mean, especially if there's a feedback that they would like to have clan tags, even if we don't build up entirely full clan feature yet. That's a start that we can actually look into. Yeah, so yeah, it's possible.
Okay, there were a bunch of questions regarding the food, the dishes. I think in general there were some suggestions about, adding the cheese. It happened already, right? So it's for you to find out. Can we have more Tuling's coffee? Can we have some Spanish dishes?
Let me talk to Blackwood about the coffee. Spanish dishes, yeah, possible. Yeah, but we as a bit of a sneak peek, we are also relooking into the food and consumable side of things in the future season as well. So I know that there's a lot of requests for especially blueprints to craft more of the beverages. um, um, we will do a bit. We'll work on the revamp, and then we'll see how we can fit those in if we are. But in the meantime, I'll work with our suppliers to make sure that I cycle more of them into every TLE instead of waiting for a specific time limited event to rerun. Okay.
Looking at the engagement after the food suggestions, now I'm thinking should we do an event where players could suggest their food and then we implement it? They're very.
I mean, I did want to. I did have a mini hunting and cooking master chef events that I was, cooking up. But yeah, before I got soloed by the abyss, who knows, it might come back. So there might be new food, and then we get to have a mini event with some actual competition going on, some gameplay stuff going on to celebrate that.
Nice. Is it that we're actually seeing some of the abyssal gameplay at the moment, right? But in world tier, is it 3 or 2?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
It's
Not
just
yet.
it's just the part of it that we would see, right? That you mentioned. Cool. Thank you so much, Captain GTI and Motherflame, for joining Neo to tackle this. I really appreciate your help. Okay, moving on to the next question. So the first question was, can we have a return of the 2023 Game Awards Conbones emblem? And actually, after the suggestions, we did bring it for this stream. So if you watch it, I think was it 60 minutes, you can get the Skull Bones emblem drop, so make sure to stay till the end. Can we see more skins inspired by real life historical Captain Sam?
Yes, we always have new designs that are inspired by real life captains. So there's we have all of them planned out. But it's just that every season we still need to mix different flavors into the releases. So they are always definitely there. More are coming. But at the same time, hey, if there's any other historical captains that you really would like to see, let us know. It might come. But yes.
A little correction for the emblem. It's 1 hour and 30 minutes. Chad corrected me. Cool. Next question is, can we have more than one epic ship skin per season?
So right now, we are trying to improve the production, the building of the epic ship skins. At the same time, we really do not want to reduce the quality of it. So eventually, hopefully, yes, we can have more than one. But in addition to also just having multiple new epic ship skins coming out, we are also looking into allowing different color variants of existing ship skins that have been released, so players can do a bit of like the upgradable figureheads, so it's not just locked behind a paywall for players who already own them. Okay, so but we heard a lot of feedback that the frigate skin players really liked it, but they don't necessarily like the green. Likewise, I also wish that green is nice, spooky and all, but sometimes I want a different color. So we're actually looking into how we can also have different colors for the existing ship skin that has been rolled out without necessarily forcing it to be implemented as a standalone brand new ship skin again. So we are working on those. So hopefully we can improve the variety and choices that you can get with epic ship skins.
Yep. Okay. I think let's move to the balancing changes.
Yes.
The last section before we go to the next one. So maybe we try to keep it shorter, but if you can emphasize or mention what are the balancing changes, what are the efforts are coming with Y3 Season 2 to improve both the progression and the ship equipment balancing.
So okay, I'll pick out some of the bigger or more impactful changes. We did a bit of rebalancing on the caustic spall station because as rightfully pointed out, it's not a major furniture, but it's really overpowered
Yep.
in that bracket. So we did some adjustments to it. But then on the other side also we did some buffs to the gimbal ring stores that were for demi cannons, but didn't really make sense. The demi cannon as an identity is a near range weapon. That furniture is forcing you to go long range with them. So we thought about it. We redid so we reworked it, so it's been reworked and properly improved. And demi cannons also receive improvement to them, where they get a damage bonus if you're attacking with demi cannons within 100 meters or less to bring out its near range capabilities even more. Yep. Yes. So the caustic spall is kind of a nerf, but it's because we didn't want to just flip it over to a major furniture. And as mentioned, season 3 will see a much wider sweep of changes coming on, and players actually did have a lot of creative builds with the caustic spall station.
Yep.
And how you add more elements to your weapons to maximize the breadth of buffs that you can get from them. So we don't want to take that fully away yet. Yeah.
Yep. Is there anything else you want to mention before we move to the community questions on the balancing? Or we can just move.
Oh yeah, so some of the improvements made to infamy gains as well has been properly adjusted more, because at a higher world tier you are also at a higher mastery level, which means that your infamy requirements are higher. So we took that into account and adjusted it further as well. We also did more improvements where taking down elites, which do soak up quite a fair bit of time versus just going through a lot of small ships. We improved the infamy gains on elite ships on World Tier 4 as well. New seasonal affixes are coming. We took into account the feedback. Like for example, armored was really punishing because not every ship playstyle is easy to get that ram in or multiple rams in. It was too shoehorning players too much into a singular action. So we rotated that out. And the other new affixes in are more general. There are more ways more general ways that you can deal with them. But the impact that they have on the AI enemy is still felt. So you still need to pay attention to them. But hopefully they won't be as punitive as before in forcing you how to remove them. Yep.
I see that we finally made it to the Abyssal Herald event. Thanks to Neo, Captain Jatian, Mother Flame. How's it going, Neo?
Trying to figure out what's going on. Feels like it's a chasing event. Oh no.
Okay, time to go back. All right, let me see if there are any community questions. Okay, are there any plans to increase the number of gun ports or on any ship?
So right now for the existing ships, we are unlikely to touch any of the gun ports. But as mentioned, we are looking at having more ships enter the game. So there might be newer variants with some alterations here or there. Is a possibility. We are also doing that big rebalance change to make sure all the ship sizes are viable. So those are coming, and then we will like to hear if those are good, and then would you still want even more gun ports just on all of the ships, versus using all this as a special identities for each of the players, because the last thing we want to do is turn every ship into just a gunboat.
Yeah. Okay, last question for you today, Sam. Are there plans to balance the seasonal mastery system in the upcoming seasons that feel less like gods when engaging with content?
Yes, definitely. So there'll be new content that are coming in future seasons as well, where it's not just about uh the high stats that you have,
Yep.
and it's not about being a binary state of did you fail it or did you pass it. We also want proficiency and skill of players to be tested. So those will come in where you can feel like a god, but you still need to be able to prove how good you are at that stage. But at the same time, yes, we are always doing micro adjustments here and there to check to make sure that it doesn't overskill too much that players are just too powerful. And at the same time, we are also making adjustments to content and AI and new content and AI where that they will still be challenging players.
Yep. Okay, Sam, I think we can move to the next section with a new guest. But before that, anything you want to tell to the community while they're about to enter their new season of Skull and Bones next week?
So I think with the new season, even like personally and with the team, we had a lot of fun actually going back through our fleets of ships and finding new combinations of play styles to play, which is one of the things that we really liked about this season that we hope the players also, all our players, our community also have fun with, where we are showing that as we progress with our seasons and mastery, it's not always just the newest contents that is fun. The whole of the game is always fun again. Things that you have worked hard for and obtained in your previous seasons always continue to bring you joy in later seasons as well. So it doesn't feel so much of every time I play I'm just working to collect the newest, the latest and the greatest, and then it becomes more of a work each season. I want every season to always be like this improvement to a playground where you always continue to find new ways to have fun with what you already have, and at the same time also collect new toys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much for joining us today. Maybe see you in the next stream as well. You're gonna be the traditional guest, and we gonna invite our next guest for today to talk about some of the quality of life updates and the updates to Faction War. But before that, let's watch a little sneak peek of our gameplay trailer for Year 3 Season 2.
Bye.
Alrighty, welcome everyone. Everyone's saying in the chat, bye Samuel, but here we are saying welcome to, hi Samuel.
Hi, I'm Samuel too. It's been a while since I've been on the stream. I think the last time was like December. So it's like
quite a while.
more than almost a year ago. But I've been busy with a lot of different things, making sure that all of the things are coming according to schedule. And so, yeah. Hi, I'm Samuel.
Samuel too. Yeah. Okay. Really, really nice to have you back on the deck. So today we have you to talk about the quality of life improvements, to faction war updates. Maybe we can start with the seasonal mastery was a new addition in Year 3 Season 1, right? And the mastery loadout was the biggest kind of suggestion or request. So what improvements are we bringing into the seasonal mastery in Year 3 Season 2?
Yep. So before we launched the seasonal mastery, we did receive quite a bit of feedback, but the time was kind of short for us to be able to address everything at once. And so we did promise that we would do a follow-up in Year 3 Season 2. And in Year 3 Season 2, you will have mastery loadouts. So maybe Neil can also show us some of the things that is new with Year 3 Season 2. And with mastery loadouts is similar to arsenal loadouts or cosmetic loadouts, where you can kind of customize and build safe kind of presets of the whole tree. And what that allows you to do is quickly change from one playstyle to another playstyle without resetting all of the nodes at once. This has been a feature that has been requested for quite some while, and we took a bit of time to really polish and showcase some of these. So just in a moment, we'll be able to show you what this is all about. One additional thing that we have done with the mastery loadouts is take a look at some of our ship customization screens to kind of further polish them. And in that same vein of trying to develop the naval gameplay, we also want to make sure that the information is both accessible and the gameplay mechanics are clear for players as well. So you kind of see a few improvements along the way as we show Year 3 Season 2. I'm sure some of you will have already seen earlier in the stream. One of the things that we also wanted to do with the mastery loadouts was to be able to tie them to existing arsenal loadouts. What this means is that, say you have a junk ship and you have a brig, right? Both have different playstyles, and what you can do is you can bind some of these loadouts in your mastery tree to these specific ships. So if you go to the so like this, you can kind of select the different mastery loadouts, and you can kind of save your existing loadouts from the mastery tree. Similar to the arsenal loadouts and cosmetic loadouts, these come with a color. You can rename them, and it gives you a good overview of the different stats that you have and the buffs that you have from the mastery tree. From this menu, you can kind of switch between the different loadouts easily, and so it allows you to change your playstyle kind of on the fly without needing to go through all of that trouble again. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, moving to the next one. So what improvements are we bringing to address just the ongoing feedback from the community about the item ascension?
On Item Ascension, one of the new features that we have been sharing previously is this concept of moving modifications from one equipment to another equipment. We've talked about this for quite some time now, and quite happy to share that in Year 3 Season 2, you'll be able to do just that, transferring some mods that you have on an equipment that maybe you obtained from loot drop, or you crafted something and you kind of use all your reroll attempts, and it's something that you don't really want anymore. So you don't want the weapon, but you want the mod because it's rare or it has good stats. And you can kind of take that, sacrifice the equipment, and put it on a weapon that you really want. So this allows you to kind of build up progressively towards your ideal loadout without that uncertainty of, will I ever get a weapon that I can have perfect rolls on? And that would alleviate some of the, concerns about, okay, my weapon is not bricked. You can now always progressively move towards a goal. And you can kind of see that progress as you continue to engage in combat, get items that you want. So what you see now on the screen is Neo transferring a weapon, a mod from a long gun to another long gun. So you can do this from the same weapon category to a different weapon, to the same weapon category. So for example, a torpedo to a torpedo, even if they are not the same equipment. So you don't really have to keep too many copies of equipment anymore. And you can transfer multiple mods at once. So here, Neo is choosing to take Incendiary and both Sieges and put it on Divine Thunder. And once that is done, you can kind of press Y here to kind of take a look at the transfer result. So even before you perform the actual so-called transaction, you can already see what your end result would be, and you can kind of think, okay, do you really want this? Or you can see the stats and you can see whether this is something that you want, and if not, you can make changes along the way. But the important thing to take note is that the source weapon will actually be destroyed, so you really need to think about which mods you want to keep, which mods you want to transfer, and you can now do this in Year 3 Season 2. So yes, I do see one question. Does it have to be the same category of weapons? Yes, it needs to be from a long gun to a long gun. Actually, very early on, we were looking at weapon specific to weapon specific. So for example, fire bombard 1 to a fire bombard 1 only. And based on some feedback that we have gotten from the Insider program as well, we have chosen to make it a bit more generic, which allows you to not require the exact same item, but from the same category to a same category. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, the next question is, so if there are any improvements that we are bringing in the Season 2 to address the feedback on the ships and equipment balancing in general?
Yep. So with ships and equipment balancing, as I mentioned earlier, one of the key things that we really want to look at is the ability for players to really understand what each of their equipment and what their loadout can do. So in the same line with item ascension, if Neo can open the screen, let's take a look at the fleet screen first. So the fleet screen now, instead of small little squares for your ship, you have seen this earlier in the stream as well. You can kind of see what each ship you have is tuned for. So you can sort and filter them by large, medium, small, and also DPS, defense, and also support ships. You will see the panel on the right side, which you can kind of really compare your equipment and the stats. And we kind of broaden and smoothen the UI on the left side to make it a bit smoother, and it really brings back the identity of all of your fleet ships. So that's something that has been requested for quite some time, and we are glad to be able to do this as well. And just one more bonus in this whole line of customization and being able to understand your loadout. If you can, Neil, if you can bring up the ship details menu on this screen, you can now view full details of your ships. So you can see the exact breakdown of your gear score, how it's derived from the base ship to the equipment to the seasonal gear score, and that gives you an idea of how you're progressing through the different ship ranks. If you go to the general tab, you can take a look at some new information that was previously not exposed to players. If you scroll down a bit more, so things like ram damage, like the number of gun pods, that's something that players have been asking for, damage mitigation, navigation stats, even crew attacks. And we hope that with all of these changes and with the variety of nodes that we are bringing each season on the seasonal mastery tree, that you'll be able to take a look at what's the build that you really want and customize it and really fine-tune all of the different parts as you would with, say, a car, right? So we wanted to really bring this part to you, and we're glad to be able to do so.
Cool. I see some quite nice reactions to overall quality of life updates. And I think throughout the whole stream, there were quite some questions about the warehouse management, right? So is there anything that we're bringing to address this feedback from the community?
So I'll answer this in two parts. I'll address the number of warehouse slots first before sharing a bit about what other things we are doing along with that. When we look at warehouse slots, it's not just a number that we can just easily tweak. There are different considerations. For example, in this warehouse screen, when we add too many number items in the, for example, slots in the warehouse, the loading tends to freeze, slow or freeze. And on different platforms, especially on PC as well, we need to make sure, we need to be very careful about the performance, because imagine if we were to increase by a significant number and the screen just crashes every time you open it because there are too many things that are loading, right? That's one aspect. One other aspect is on the back end. When we process certain transactions, we need to make sure that all of those go smoothly. Otherwise, items get lost. So there's a lot of technical investigation. There's a lot of things that are happening on the back end that maybe might not be too exposed to players that we have to consider and really test, evaluate, and test again to make sure everything works correctly before we increase the capacity limit. We did this with the number of ship slots, and so we are trying to do the same also for inventory. So bear with us, it will take a while longer for us to increase the number of warehouse slots as we complete our tests and make sure that everything goes smoothly. But in the meantime, we have quite a few improvements that we are excited to share for Year 3 Season 2. The first one is that we have developed some improvements to the sort and filter tabs. So on cargo screens, on the warehouse screens, and on virtually any screen that has a grid of items, you will now see new options, and it's much cleaner in terms of the user experience to be able to understand which items you're filtering and sorting by. There are new sort and filter options, and we are going to follow up in Year 3 Season 3 with even more options and a further expansion of the sort and filter so that you can find your items easily. The second is that, and it's something that players have been asking for quite some time as well, you are now able to salvage your items anywhere. That means that even out at sea, if you get an item that you don't really want, equipment that you don't really want, you can immediately do that in sea without going back to the warehouse. So if you were to select equipment here, you can now salvage this equipment directly. You can salvage multiple at once, and all of these items go directly into your warehouse. So any items that you receive through this salvage at sea will go into the warehouse. This allows you to kind of clear your inventory while you're in between combat encounters without needing to go back to the port at any point in time. So hopefully this will alleviate some of the concerns with cargo and warehouse space while we continue to work on evaluating whether we can, by how much we can increase that inventory space. Yeah.
Well, people are quite happy about Quarter of Life updates. Is there any more that we want to share that is coming for Year 3 Season 2?
So there are a few more minor quality of life improvements. If Neo can open the system menu, you can actually see that you can now change your world tier at any point in time rather than needing to go back to the main menu or to go back to the den. And this allows players to really, I want to explore content in tier 2, I want to explore content in tier 4. That allows you to kind of switch between those easily. Another improvement that I would also like to share is that you can actually, at sea, if you open up the action wheel, you can now select, okay, let's, and if you press edit on this screen, and you select some random slot, and if you go to, I believe, should be cosmetics, you can now trigger your auras. The last option there should be, you can now trigger your ship aura at any point in time. So in the past it used to be reactive based on the boss trigger, but now if you want to just show off your cosmetics at any point in time, you can now just play the ship aura.
Sorry, I didn't equip any.
It's okay. Yeah. So I think there was one question that I would like to address as well. There were some people asking about returning player ships. And if you kind of missed out some of the ships in Year 1 and in Year 2, and you're returning a new player, you can indeed get all of the previous season ships through Blackwood. So it's on a rotation of items and blueprints that you can obtain. So within a season, they will cycle through the different ships, and you can still obtain them at any point in time rather than just through the pass itself.
Cool. Awesome. So we mentioned a lot of quality of life updates that are coming in Y3 Season 2, but in general, our focus on improving the whole experience when it comes to naval combat, right? So anything that we are planning for future updates that we want to share with the community today?
Yep. So later in Y3 Season 2, we do have content updates as well. So you have new content that you can engage with. We won't share too many details at this point in time, but you don't have to wait until Y3 Season 3 for those pieces of content. And also in Y3 Season 2, what we are trying to do during the later part of the season is to finally take that bold step to remove ammo. Now this has been a topic that has been quite actually contentious, and even within the development team there are different opinions on, like, should we really remove ammo because it removes some of the realism, or should we keep ammo because we want to make sure that the entire experience is streamlined. We have engaged the community in more than a couple of events actually, and we are finally making that step to remove ammo. And what this means is that you'll be able to fire your weapons anytime without needing to take the extra step of crafting ammo and equipping them, making sure you don't set sail without the necessary ammo. And although we know that this is a removal, it's not exactly, it does feel like we're removing something from the game mechanic. But when we evaluated all of our different options and we took a look at where we really want to focus on, which is the naval combat part of things, we want to remove that frustration. And we want to remove this extra step to engage with the game. So ammo's not gone forever, in the sense that we did also explore certain ideas as to, like, for example, could certain ammo have different special effects? And we are taking ammo down for the moment while we take a look at how we can further amplify some of the cool stuff that we could potentially do with ammo.
Cool. Okay, anything else that is coming in maybe Y3 Season 3, 4 you want to mention?
Y3 Season 3, I know the other Sam did say that, okay, we won't really share too many details about the second ship. But I think we can give a little bit more information and a bit more tease. I'm pretty sure it's gonna kill me after this, but but the second ship, as Sam mentioned, it is a small ship and it has 8 letters. So you go figure.
I think you were the one who gave them the 7 letters tease.
Yeah. I did say 7 letters for the galleon. It was a hint for Y3 Season 1 back then. So I'll reprise that role and say 8 letters, and I think that the community would be smart enough to figure out what that is. There's a few more things on Y3 Season 3. I did share that we are making improvements to sort and filter. We are still going to make slight improvements to the mastery loadout as well. So there were a few things that were originally in the works for Y3 Season 2, but we kind of said, okay, this is not polished enough, we're going to take a bit more time. So there's some improvement there. We have new content as always. We're going to double down on the Abyssal Fleet. So you'll see new content, new bosses. And together with the whole idea of naval combat, we are trying to take a look at some of our key mechanics again. And also at that same time, really look at rebalancing everything so it really feels different. Yeah, and so this would be a part of the whole initiative that you have heard about Combat 2.0. Finally, we are looking at some further improvements to inventory. So we are looking at streamlining some of the items that are less used, like commodities and food. And we're also looking at making sure that the repair kits are still relevant and useful. So we're making some improvements on that end together with their availability on vendors. So that's some of the things that we are looking at. Maybe one last thing that I can share. I did see some comment about, the understanding of the game and having that information available. So we are also looking at adding some missing pages in the codex, and so that would help with the understanding of especially the fixers and status effects that we have in our game.
Cool, awesome. And then I want to ask some questions from the community that we've gathered. So first one is, can we have the ability to see the top 10 in the leaderboard, even when we are not in the top 10 ourselves?
So yes, this is something that we are looking into. Leaderboards will actually play quite an important role in Y3S2 without revealing too many details. So look forward to something related to leaderboards in Y3S2.
Next one is, are you aware of ship weak points such as on the Corvette disappearing?
Yeah, so together with all of the feature and season development that we're doing, we are also trying to make much more progress on existing bugs, and not just fixing the bugs that exist, but making sure that in future seasons, when we release a new season, those are as bug-free as possible. So we are spending a bit more effort now as well to kind of make sure that things go smoothly. And these include the different existing bugs that have been reported through the bug reporter.
Can we have updated captain animations when steering a large ship? Oh, wait, I need to... We still do it with one hand, not two.
Captain animations is something that we are looking at improving already in Y3S2 as a whole. So there's already work in progress at the moment, and I just discussed about it yesterday with some of the team members that are working on it. So yes, there are captain animation improvements that are coming, so stay tuned for those.
Awesome. Okay, now I think we can move to the next section to talk about faction war, but is there anything that you want to mention about the quality of life, or we can just move to the next section?
I think I see one comment about the look feature.
Yep.
The look at feature has been, for lack of a better word, looked at. And so there are some points of friction whereby, you can't really disengage from that view, or it conflicts with certain buttons. And so some improvements have been made for Y3 Season 2. So take a look at once you have your hands on the game. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So about the faction war. So what are changes coming in Y3 Season 2 to the faction? We did tease a bit that there's another faction joining the war, but if you can share more details today.
So can we review the...
Why not?
Yeah. All right. Since players will get their hands on Y3 Season 2 next week, we can go ahead and share. I know players have been asking for a new faction to join for quite some time, and we've been promising a new faction. Why stop at two why stop at one in the future? So in the future, we are still developing new factions to come in faction war. But with Y3 Season 2, you can now choose to side with the Phoenix Talon as well. So it'll be the Phoenix Talon against the Company Royale, and you can now choose a different new faction. So it is our commitment for faction wars to continue working on it, to create new archetypes, to create new enemies, create new relationships that you can forge with. So we are finally breaking out of just the DMC and the Company Royale.
Yeah. What can players expect in general for future of faction war? So besides the new factions joining,
I think you can, apart from the new factions that are joining, you can continue to see improvements. You can continue to see feature updates for the faction war. So we won't get too much into details this time around, but I hope you guys enjoy being able to side with the Phoenix Talon for Y3 Season 2.
Cool. All right. Now it's going to be the next choice, DMC or Phoenix Talent for the choice, and we'll see how the war goes in Y3 Season 2. But I think so far we've kind of finished our kind of rundown what we want to talk about. So I think I will leave around maybe 10 to 15 minutes to if there are any questions from the chat. If there are any question, you can message in the chat right now. So we will let Sam answer those. But other than that, I think while we are having some questions coming in, Sam, what kind of message do you want to tell to the community, like before they start the new season?
Before they start year 3 season 2, I want to just share that, you know, when I first started doing this stream in year 1 season 1, I didn't expect that, you know, we would have such an engaged community that really provides a lot of feedback and continue to work with us to suggest new features and improvements. So it's been a great experience trying to understand what the community wants and building this game with the community. And we're already here with our 10th season for Skull and Bones. So I want to encourage everyone to really continue pouring your feedback in, and it's things that we read on a very, very regular basis. If you have if you encounter bugs, send them through the bug reporter, and we look at them also very often. So I really don't want this relationship between the development team and also a community to you know, change that much, because I think it's been very comfortable, and I think we are all very fortunate to be able to be working with the community.
Yes, I agree. And let me pick up some questions, and if you see any questions that you want to answer, let me know. But I think the first question was, are we going to get any new large tank ship in the future?
So I think one of the questions that I've seen also on the Reddit post for this one was that, okay, why are we focusing so much on large ships? And the part of the reason is because we have only really introduced large ships in, you know, more recently, in more recent seasons. And so we really want to fill up that archetype first before we start looking back into small and medium ships, which we are already starting to do so. So for large ships and for ships of all sizes, you'll see a generous rotation of tank, DPS, and support ships. But more than that, we want players to be able to define their playstyle. So every ship is viable to be played a certain way if you were to invest in the nodes that you desire in the mastery loadout, in the mastery tree. So if you want a ship to be a tank, it can perform as a tank as well. And we have, like Sam mentioned earlier, we have impetus perks that reinforce a certain playstyle. So you can get impetus stacks by taking damage, and that would reinforce the tank playstyle. You can gain stacks by dealing damage, which would be a DPS playstyle, and you can get perks by stacks by, you know, moving around, which will reinforce the navigation playstyle. So we want players to really explore rather than, you know, predefining that this ship is a tank, this ship is a DPS, this ship is a support. We want you to go out and explore and see what works and what feels right for you.
Cool. The next question is the flute still coming? I think we did announce that it's coming in year 3, but if just to confirm anything on that one, Sam?
Yes, we have seen it progress quite a bit already in development. It's actually internally testable, so we have been playing quite a bit with it and trying to fine tune and get all the different internal opinions, and soon we will engage the community through the insider program as well. So stay tuned for the flute, and as well as the 8-letter small ship.
8 letters. Now it's time for you to guess. Okay, so there were quite some questions about the Black Flag crossover, the Jackdaw set, the cosmetics. Do you know anything about that?
I don't have too much tabs on that, so
all I know is that something is coming around mid-September.
Oh.
So stay tuned. It is coming. All right. Next question. See if you want to take any questions that you see, but I'm missing. It's quite a lot.
I'm reading through the chat as well.
Yep. I think there were questions about yes.
I bet he didn't expect to be harassed about cheese since year 1 season 1, and in year 3 season 2 you finally get your cheese. So
Yes.
yeah.
There's also something coming as a Coconut Man that John told me about. It's also a bit of an Easter egg. So it's for the community to find out.
Yes, John did share with me about the Easter eggs as well. So we're trying this new thing in more recent seasons to kind of create small little touch points, small little cool things in the game, and we hope that you guys enjoy it too.
Yeah.
Oh, what's the Adept mods tease in the posters? Right, so I don't think we have yet covered Adept mods this stream. Adept mods are basically improved versions of existing mods. So you'll be able to achieve and obtain some of these in the world. So if you do encounter some of these are actually better versions of the mods that you already know. And when you reroll them, you only reroll within the Adept mod pool. So once you have gotten that mod, or taken that and transferred it to the equipment that you like, for that slot it will stay Adept, so you will get better versions of the mod pools that previously had.
I see more small ships in caps. I mean, you got to answer eight letters for you to figure out.
8 letters for you to figure out. One idea that we have been kind of half joking about is like, can we have a new extra small ship? But then we really need to define what the gameplay is for that. And so if you have ideas, let us know as well, because we are
Extra small ship.
extra small ship.
Okay. Are sales and furniture going to get upgrades anytime?
Sales and furniture, not really. For the furniture itself, we did think about, okay, can we ascend furniture as well? But we do realize that some of the furniture, like for example, caustic spouse station, is really powerful. Being able to ascend them and adding new dimensions would cause a little bit more complexity in balancing, and it's not something that we are fully ready for at the moment. So furniture will stay unique modifiers to your ships. And for sales itself, you can already find perks in the mastery tree to improve your acceleration, improve your turning speed. But maybe we will have something that is upgradable in the future that is a bit more non-gameplay related. But I won't share too much at this point in time. Yeah.
What was the question? Can there be a shop for getting old cosmetics? I think last stream we did answer this question. I think Samuel quick answered that no plans for the shop, but they're thinking about new ways to rotate old cosmetics so the players are able to get them.
Yep. I think one of the things that we do on a yearly basis is we have the founding event, which comes towards the end of the year.
Yep.
Where it's kind of like a vault. We open up and make a lot of legacy cosmetics available. And so if you kind of missed out anywhere throughout the year, or you are a new player that hasn't really played year 1 and year 2, you'll have a chance to get some of the cool cosmetics that you see on other captains as well. But that will be, in season 4, so it's quite some time from now. So get your cosmetics while you can.
Let me see if there are more questions.
Is the junk inspired by any real ship in particular? The junk is inspired by the junk. I'm not sure how I can explain that a little bit more. But you can kind of see that we have played a little bit more with the Oriental theme this time round. Together with being able to side with the Phoenix talent, being able to reinforce fire as a primary element.
We need a bathtub as an extra small ship.
So for bathtub, this reminds me. This going a bit off the game itself. I used to I sail boats, right? A dinghy, and I used to sail this small little ship, small little boat that is kind of like a bathtub. It's called the Optimist. So the nickname is the bathtub, and I guess maybe we can model one after that in the future.
I love just how we was like the April 1st post on Twitter, and then everyone just like, why not? Why not in the game?
Oh, there's one question that I saw earlier about ship skins. Why we choose, for example, Bug instead of the Corvette or like Frigate. I think one really good explanation for this is that the production and the concept, from everything from concept to implementation, takes quite significant time, because we want to make sure that the ship skins are really polished and really worth acquiring. And so in this sense, when we release a new ship like a Corvette or a Frigate, we want to kind of also make sure that we take into account some of the players' feedback as to we want like this kind of like sales, we want this kind of modifications, and to kind of make sure we cover all of those when we address them when we create the new ship skins as well. So one example you will see in Year 3 Season 2 is that it was mentioned earlier, you will see the craneless bug, and this is actually available as a progression ship skin, so all players will be able to get them through Abyssal Essence. So you can finally get a bug without a crane.
Yep. Cool. I think we are kind of coming down to the end of the stream. It was quite a long one, hour and a half. I hope you were able to get your drops, who stayed for the drops. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I hope you're looking forward for the new season. More content is coming across this week to tell you more about the Abyssal event. A little bit sad we weren't able to show the boss fight, which is quite epic, but we will be waiting for all the gameplay video screenshots and the loadouts that you're going to share starting the new season. And I think after Year 3 Season 1, we really saw a lot of like loadouts that people would share, like their meta, their one shot.
Just on this point, I forgot to mention with loadout masteries, because we have seen a lot of players actually share their loadouts, but shared them in very interesting ways, like taking multiple screenshots of the different tooltips. So we've made this a little bit easier in Year 3 Season 2. When you equip a mastery loadout, we tried to fit all of the information on the screen as possible, so you can take one nice screenshot and share it across the other players as well. So you'll see that, and yeah.
People are asking for 10 minutes more, 30 minutes more. Don't worry, even we finish talking, we will leave a screen for you, I think, for another 30 minutes. I think the configuration ends at exactly at 12, if I'm not wrong, or 11:15 Singapore time. So there is still time for you to claim your drops if you need more time. But if you weren't able to claim some, we will definitely rerun them during the next streams, so don't worry on that. Cool. Neo, how you feel about today's session?
I'm enjoying it. Thanks so much for Miss Fling and Captain GTI. Really appreciate
you guys joining Neo to play, to help him progress through the world tiers in such a short period. Cool. I think we're ready to wrap up the stream. Anything else you want to mention before we...
I think that's pretty much all that we have and can share at this point in time. The team is already working very hard on Season 3 and Season 4 and Year 4. So it's something that we have to get back to work to right after this.
Yes.
So yeah, unfortunately, that's all the time that we have today.
Yep. Cool. Thank you so much for joining, and see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.